Hi, welcome to the very first monthly energy scope, oracle scopes reading on my channel. If you are interested in kind of getting a forecast for what the energy is going to be this month so that you can best approach the month, so that you can best plan the month, so that you can be more energetically informed about the opportunities that you might get as an energetic being, then you've come to the right video. My name is Melanie Santos. I am a mind, body, spirit, energy, well-being educator, a holistic practitioner, Kundalini yoga teacher, spiritual guide, and medium, and digital creator, artist, alchemist, wife, mom, sister, friend. More than anything, I'm an energetic being in a human body just like you. I have been doing these oracle scope readings privately for my membership community for over 5 years now. I have seen firsthand just how impactful they have been on their personal wellness journey, on their healing journey, but also in our collective journey as people, as citizens of the world, just trying to be better for ourselves and for each other. My membership community recently got a little zhuzh, and I decided to move this offering from being a private membership offering to being a public offering for the world, because we're in a state of the world right now where people need guidance. Where more than anything, the healers of the world need to step out of this mindset and out of this frame of work that focuses on individualism. There are not enough spiritual teachers, guides, holistic practitioners that are focusing on collective healing. Humbly, that is one of my favorite things about myself as a teacher, is that I do offer so many tools, resources, teaching, guidance on personal revolution, mind, body, spirit, well-being, but so that that feeds into collective well-being, so that that feeds into who we are as citizens of the world, so that we can be better in our own lives and so that we can be better with each other. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I'm going to be doing them every single month at the top of the month. I want to know where you're tuning in from. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what resonates with you. How did the reading land for you? What cards in particular? What messages? Because I'm going to be both pulling oracle cards and also using my intuition and giving you what kind of downloads are coming through me. I am clairvoyant. Mostly, let's ignore the sirens. I am a New York City girl. That's better. So yeah, let me know in the comments where you're dropping in from, what resonates with you, what cards or what messages really landed for you, and let's get started. I do want to say, listen to this objectively. If the message isn't for you, it isn't for you. Maybe the message is for somebody else. Maybe you are the messenger or the vessel that needs to deliver the message that you hear today, or the messages that you hear today, to somebody that you love and care for. Listen to this with an open heart and open mind. All of the decks that I'm using in this reading are going to be linked in the description box for you to use. I've had many of them for many years. Some of them are still on the market. Some of them aren't. But yeah, let's get into this. I'm going to start reading from the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And as always, these are linked in the description box below. All right, we got our first card for February. Before I get into the first card, before I even flip it over to see what it is, I do want to get into what we know about February 2024 already. We know that we are in Aquarius season and we're going to be stepping into Pisces season. We know that the Lunar New Year is on February 10th. And we're stepping into the year of the wood dragon. We're stepping out of the year of the water rabbit into the year of the wood dragon. We know that 2024 is an 8-year that is focused on abundance. And right before I stepped into this video and into this reading, I was sitting with my spirit guides, kind of chatting with them and asking them if there's any messages or any energy, anything that they wanted to add to the reading. And they very clearly reiterated that this is a very big year for abundance, where we should be focusing on abundance, where we should be focusing on the holes in our life and the holes in our energy, the holes in our output, the holes in our input, the holes in our aura that make our connection with abundance, that strain our connection to abundance. And also to focus on abundance in all forms of the word. I think, and I talk about this all the time within my membership community, within my communities, but people usually hear abundance and they immediately think about money. Abundance doesn't only have to do with money. Abundance is a feeling, abundance is a mindset, abundance is an energy. To be truly rooted in your abundance is to be grateful, is to truly be grateful, is to truly find gratitude in the things, resources, people, relationships, connections that you have, and letting that gratitude fuel you to connect with all the abundance that is out there for you, that you innately is already yours. And so, talking to my guides, they mentioned that it's really important this year. And I'm going to talk about what's really important this month in a second, but this year it is truly important that we are focusing on abundance, seeking abundance, connecting to our abundance in community. Okay, that we are sharing our resources. That is how we are going to become a more abundant society, that we are banding together. And we can already see, if you don't have this mindset, I'm going to sort of illustrate the way that I think and why I think these messages are important and how they show up in the world as we are living in it right now. But even through all the strife, even through all the horrible, terrible things that are happening in the world right now, the genocide, the robbing of people's rights, literally all the terrible things that are happening right now, those are still opportunities for us to band together and create abundance, both for ourselves personally, because when we make decisions are made within the government, within the world, they affect us on a personal level, but also, obviously, on a collective level. And so that's only one way that we can band together to create more abundance for ourselves. That's also going to work in our personal lives as well, like banding together to share resources. People who have the resources to do videos like this, like, do them. If you're holding back on ideas, on books, videos, classes, courses that you really want to host. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Don't hold back on this if you're doing it with a pure heart, like truly with a pure intention. If you are thinking and holding back on things because you're not sure of like putting your foot in and you're really focused on just doing it for the money, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not the type of abundance that I'm talking about. I'm talking about truly putting your whole foot in, your whole heart into a project or projects that are going to, again, affect you positively and are going to affect the collective positively. And so in 2024, yes, it's an abundant year, but I really urge us to pay attention to everything as an opportunity for abundance. Everything is giving us guidance to step into an abundant era for ourselves, personally and collectively. Everything is offering us direction. Everything that happens to us, from what we label as good and what we label as bad, because truly in the world everything is neutral. We are emotional beings, and so we are prone to labeling things as good or bad. But everything truly is an opportunity. And when I will say that when I started to step into this frame of mind years ago, very early on into my healing journey, truly changed my life forever. With that, let's step into the first card of February 2024. First card is coming through as the goddess Cordelia, and the message is coming through as go outside. Go outside. The card said, you've been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Immediately, this is coming through as this. We just stepped out of January. January, for many people, whether you have been very active and have been out in the world and you started the gym and you're tackling your goals and your intentions and put your vision board together and your action, very, very masculine action, or you have been more leaning into the feminine side of flow, of moon energy, of sitting, of hibernating, which is the side that I've been on personally. I'm still on a social media break as I record this. But if you've been on the more feminine side of things, where you've been slowing down and taking into account the past 12 months, what you've learned, how you can use what you've learned in 2023 to really put your best foot forward in 2024. Again, hibernating, taking it slow. Either or, whether you've been on either sides of the fence, it is still time to go outside. And there's time to go outside in different forms of the phrase. I'm getting that if you have been more on the masculine side of things, where you've been pushing forward on your goals and you've been like doing the things and like going to the gym, and maybe you're doing dry January, there's a message or like a warning or like a push guidance. There's an urging to step out of, go outside of individualistic thinking. Okay, February again is a really big month for starting to think about how you can pull together your talents, your resources with those in your community, so that you can start to help create abundance in the collective. Now, what that means for you is what it means for you, okay? Maybe you're a photographer who is really talented, or maybe you're not and you're learning. Either way, if you're the talented photographer, you can step up and maybe teach a class or offer your resources to a school or a community of other photographers where you can offer your tips. Maybe you can film videos on YouTube. If you are, I don't know why I'm using a photographer example, but it's what's coming to mind. If you are on the other end of the spectrum where you're maybe brand new to something, maybe you can join a community of people who maybe know more and start to receive mentorship in that particular place where you want to learn more. Whatever it is for you. But we are urged, if you're on that side of the spectrum, to step outside of your individualistic thinking. Again, February is like a really foundational month for how we're going to continue to build towards abundance in the year. Okay, January was like, okay, let's power down. Let's like figure things out. Let's like see, almost like we're putting together a puzzle. Let's see what pieces we have. We'll see what pieces we don't need to deal with right now. Let us start to piece things together. February starts to build a foundation, because once we step into March, we step into Aries season. Aries, I'm going to talk a lot about astrology here, by the way. I'm not an astrologer, but I am an aficionado. And again, I'm an energy teacher. Energy and astrology go hand in hand. Energy and the zodiacal calendar go hand in hand. I am the person who doesn't celebrate the new year until March, because March is when we step into Aries season. And Aries season is, am I in focus? Aries season is ruled by the planet Mars, the planet of action, the planet of initiation. And so when we step into Aries season is when we can really look forward to the energy shifting, getting more of gas for the things that we need to do. Stepping into Aries season also is synonymous with the spring equinox. Okay, when we step into the spring equinox, that is the real, true energetic new year. Okay, this is like, you might hear many spiritual teachers or people who talk about energy say things like this is, okay, welcome to the new year, the real new year, because the Gregorian calendar was made by white men. You already know how that goes. Like, yes, it governs our time as human beings, but again, we have to focus on ourselves as energetic beings too. And I think we should focus on ourselves as energetic beings primarily. And so when we do that, focusing on March as the true start of the year. And so when we talk about February, we're talking about a true, almost like a, I want to say hardening of the foundation, because I'm thinking about clay, like putting down the clay, putting down and like asking for help, having all these hands in there so that you're not doing it alone. And so not only so that you're not doing it alone, but so that you are receiving help. When you do things together, when we do things as a collective, when we pull together our thoughts, our resources, our connections, things happen faster. And I'm not saying that faster is better, because some things do need time and do need to go slowly, but they're happening, right? They're actually happening. Sometimes when we do things by ourselves, we talk ourselves out of it. And I sense that that's the case with many of you right now, whether you're on either sides of the spectrum, this masculine spectrum, where things are going. Some of you are already starting to talk yourself out of things, or already starting to burn out, because January has been so forward moving. For those of you who have been on the more feminine side of the spectrum, who have used January as a time to sort of like cool your jets and recalibrate and like take into account all the things that you've learned, the resources that you do have already, the connections that you do have already, you're also being told to sort of go outside, where you also need to start assessing, how can you start to rejoin society, right? How can you use this energy that you have now, like you've charged up, hopefully? How can you use this energy, this fresh mind, to rejoin society, to really use all the inspiration that you have hopefully gathered and like do what you need to do? Because every one of us are talented. I know there are some of you who are watching this right now who are like,
I'm not creative, I'm not talented, I wasn't born with a purpose.
not up in here. Everybody was born with a purpose. Everybody was born with a talent or talent. Everybody was born with something that they are here to do. And it's not always something to do with your career. It is not always something that you're here to physically do, something material, something that you're meant to create. Sometimes you're here to just create energy. Some people's purpose are literally to incarnate, to create energy. Sometimes you are here to just affect other people. And sometimes we stray off the aligned path, like, right, our path of alignment, and we're still affecting people, whether we're affecting people in a positive or negative way. And I'm saying, air quotes, because again, we label things as human beings, but energy is truly neutral. But some people are here to just affect people. And so if you're staying in captivity, right, some of us like keep ourselves in captivity and don't want to be out in the world because we don't want to be triggered. I see you. It's a real thing. Being burnt out by dealing with humans and being in the world is a very, very real thing. But again, whatever side of the spectrum that you're on, you're meant to rejoin society. Use these tools, these resources, this inspiration, this clear thinking, hopefully, to get back into the world, to collaborate. Now, if you are somebody who's like, I have no clear thinking, I'm still burnt out, I don't have a clear understanding of how to step forward, then community can also help. Again, community banding together with others who may be on the same process or in a similar road. It's getting real smoky up in here, huh? May also help. Let me actually move this incense. It is doing the most. If you're curious, I'm burning copal. I always burn some type of incense or some type of sacred smoke. Copal. This copal is specifically, I buy from Mexico. It smells amazing. It is a true energy cleanser. I love it. That should be better. But it doesn't matter where you are. Again, joining together, banding together in community may be or is going to be the most helpful for you. So really start to assess what that means for you. Again, Goddess Cordelia, go outside. Let's jump into the second card, second deck. This one's coming from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. This is one of my favorite decks. It's really old and dirty and grungy. But your spiritual tools that are like the most used have the most life. They got the most energy in it. So let's pull a card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, second card for February 2024. Okay, we got a second card here, and it's the Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? So this is looking like, as a ex-Catholic schoolgirl myself, this is looking like the Virgin Mary, Mary Magdalene, very Virgin Mary-like. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? I don't intend to read from the booklets, but I'm curious in the sense, because sometimes when we read these booklets, also as a creator and somebody who writes books and workbooks and tools and resources and things, this takes a lot of time. So read your booklets. Sometimes when you're reading, you get things from the booklet, from the explanation. So I'm curious. I'm just curious. I'm being called to check it out, skim through it, see if there are any more messages here. But I'm already holding the messages that are coming through from this card. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? And it specifically has to do with how you talk yourself out of things that I was talking about earlier. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame, and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. I'm not going to read the rest, but that's what I was called to read. And it's totally matches up with what I'm receiving, in that this card has to do with the ways that sometimes we talk ourselves out of what we're here to do. Like sometimes we get an idea or like some inspiration, something that is popping up within us, and we're like, that doesn't make any sense. How could I possibly pull that off, right? Or like, I don't have the resources or the connections or the money to do this. Like, I don't have the material abundance that it takes to push this forward. And it's like, if we have the mindset and we honor the fact that we are energetic beings first, then we also honor the fact that we are vessels, that our body is a mere vessel for our soul, and that our soul came here with a blueprint, right? And sometimes our soul pulls out, like when it's time, our soul will pull out this like, okay, and now it's time to do this. And we get an idea. And sometimes I find that sometimes we're so arrogant that we think that we came up with certain things. Yes, our life, our experience totally affects the way that we think and the way that we come up with things, the way that we produce things, the way that we produce energy, the way that we speak, walk, all the things. However, when an idea comes out of left field and we're already like, what? How am I going to make this happen? It's probably because you didn't come up with it. So honor the fact that you're a vessel for this idea, this project, this thing, this decision that you have to make, that is just pouring through you, and that you're meant to carry it through. And that if you're meant to carry it through, you will be supported energetically, financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, in order for you to birth this into reality. And so getting this mother card is very symbolic in several ways. Oh, this is going to be a little bit complex, the way that this is coming through. Several ways. Number one, again, when we talk about mothering energy, we talk about moon energy, we talk about how we're being fed, how we're being nurtured, how we're being carried through, how we are being most of all supported in all ways. When we talk about parenting, parents, maybe you're watching this and you are a parent, maybe you're watching this and you aren't a parent, but the role of a parent is to nurture. Okay, it's like things that we're supposed to do. Like we brought life into the world and we're supposed to do. And I'm thinking about people who are like parents who are abusive in a sense, who are like, you should love me, I put a roof over your head. And it's like, no, sis, like that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like that's why you brought me into the world, was to nurture me. And so when we think about the mother and mothering ourselves, we're meant to think about, how are we nurturing ourselves? How are we meant to nurture ourselves? And we getting this card, the Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? We're talking about the cosmic mother. When I think of the cosmic mother, I think about God, I think about spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call your higher power, and how we are allowing ourselves to be nurtured. What types of tools are we using to connect with the Star Mother, right? The universe, the spirit within us, the spirit world, spirituality, period. There's a focus on that, paying attention to the routines, the tools, the resources that we are using or maybe not using, that we really need to put into focus, because it's only a part of how we feel, but it's a really important part of how we feel. And then I'm also getting allowing anything that is supportive around us. Again, our spiritual practices, our food is coming through, food as medicine, our movement, our conversations, like just the energy that we surround ourselves with, being a part of our like down to earth cosmic atmosphere, right? Because there's the cosmos, the universe around us, but the universe is also around us. Like the universe is here, like the universe is here in my plants. Let me hold for this siren. So yeah, so just like we might like read our horoscope or watch videos like this and get tarot card readings done and energy readings done and whatever, and like seek guidance from the outside, we're meant to really pay attention to, how are we allowing ourselves to be mothered where we are? How are we paying attention to the conversations, the resources, the things that we're reading, the things that we're listening to, the decisions that we're making, like literally the mundane things, and how they are mothering us. If they don't feel like they're mothering us, if they feel strenuous, if they feel disconnected, if they feel like they don't belong, then working to either better that connection or get rid of it altogether. I'm getting that there is a lot of you who are like watching this right now, who are going to watch this and who are going to be like, well, that's my job. And so if it's something like that, something that's truly foundational, a job, a partner, a best friend, like whatever, something that's like truly like a set in stone type of thing, something that might be difficult to just release, then maybe this is the year that you pay attention to how you are building abundance in your life by releasing these very big things. And for those of you who are thinking like, oh, well, if I get rid of my job, I won't have money. Again, abundance is not always about money. Some of the brokest people that I know are some of the happiest. Okay, and some of the richest people that I know are some of the unhappiest, are always worried. Abundance does not equate to financial gain all the time. Abundance is, again, a mindset and energy of feeling. The Star Mother is also coming through with a reminder that we don't have to worry about how things are going to come out. And this is just reiterating what I said earlier, but like we don't have to worry about the how. We don't have to worry about the how. And I know that sounds really crazy coming from me. You may have a specific thing that's going on in your life or a specific idea, something that you have in mind that you're like, how could she say that? Trust me, I get it. I definitely talk myself or have talked myself out of things many times, and I'm in a period of my life right now where I'm finally pressing the gas on many of the things that I've talked myself out of. And the only reason why they are going forward and the ball is rolling is because I finally stopped, as hard as it may be, and as much as I know what I know, and I've been teaching this for years, I finally stopped, truly, fully stopped worrying about how it was going to happen or how it was going to turn out, and just do it. Just go for it. I know a lot of people say like, do it scared. That may not be as easy for everybody. And that's okay. It may not be as easy for you to just do it scared. We all have different skill sets, different mindsets, different experiences. We all live very nuanced experiences. We all have different traumas that affect the way that we think and move. And again, that is okay. But truly try to use, again, your practices, the things that you do on a daily basis that affirm you, that affirm your spiritual, energetic, your human existence, and use that to push forward. Use that to push forward, knowing that you don't have to worry about the how. If you are truly meant to do something, then it'll happen. I'm not saying that you won't fail. I know this is getting complex, but this is how my readings come through. I'm not saying that you're not going to fail. I'm not saying things are going to turn out perfectly. But again, that's not up to you to decide. If you fail, failure is also an opportunity for you to use that as a lesson to move forward. Okay? And this is speaking from, again, experience. I have failed a million times, especially over the past 5 years that I've been working full-time for myself. I've put projects together and offered things and offerings and spaces, and sometimes I only did things once because I just didn't want to do it anymore, or I failed, or I needed to revamp it, or I did it once 5 years ago and now I'm, 5 years later, I'm revamping it and trying it again. Do it as it comes. Use the resources that you have. Make sure that you are nourished and fueled, and don't worry. Again, honor the Star Mother within yourself. How are you moving forward? How are you nurturing yourself? How are you worrying? I'm thinking of this quote by Rachel Cargill, who said it at a live event that I saw her at. But she said, worry is a prayer for the things that you don't want. And it's a quote that I've kept close to me ever since. Worry is a prayer for the things that you don't want. And it is absolutely true in an energetic standpoint. When you worry, when you think too much about how things are going to turn out, when you start to talk yourself out of things, all of those, like, I'm going to call them negative thoughts, but all of those things start to build up and calcify in your aura, your electromagnetic field that is all around your body. And it is your electromagnetic field that sends out signals to the universe. This is how we communicate to the universe. So whatever it is that we're saying, thinking, doing, starts to literally become embedded in us, into our energetic signature. And so really be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you're nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself. What are you keeping with you? And how are you the common denominator of all your problems and how you feel stagnant? Push forward, okay? The energetic mother, the cosmic mother, the star mother is supporting you. What a beautiful reading so far. It's making me truly excited about February, not only for myself, but to see what y'all bring into the world. Like, what are you finally going to stop talking yourself out of doing? Like, I love it. I love it for you, and I love it for me. Let's pick the third card. I'm going to do 4 cards. Let's pick the third card. This is coming from the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. Love this deck. I particularly love the booklet from this deck because it gives you a reading, or like a booklet reading, for whether the card comes up upright or down, upside down. I'm a sucker for tools and like resources and technology and things. So I really, really love that. I think it's a really well-made deck. Again, they're all linked in the description box, but let's choose card number 3. This is interesting. We got 2 cards. One is the door to value, and we got it upside down. I am going to read from this deck just because, again, I love it. So we got the door to value, and this one came out upside down. And we got the contract card, and this one came up upright. Contract. I'm going to read from this one. I'm definitely going to read from this one. I'm going to read the door to value first because it's the first one that we got. And again, shout out to Sandra Ann Taylor, who built this deck. Super appreciative of all the resources that I have. This card shows a door. Oh, I'm reading the upright. This card reversed signals a partial or perhaps even potentially complete closing of the door. The hoped for new opportunity where money or career is concerned may be delayed or possibly even derailed. Don't be disheartened, however. This card reversed reminds you to not put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your interests and your efforts, and let your intuition guide you to the next open doorway. In the meantime, open your heart and your mind to other sources of value in your life. Money is a commodity, but so are time, tranquility, and love. Choose to open the doors of these wonderful experiences yourself and find real value there. And they share an affirmation that you may want to write down and take with you for your personal practice, and it is: my life is opening to endless possibilities of prosperity. The river of abundance flows freely through my door, bringing me unlimited wealth. Okay, before I get into the next card, I do want to mention that this is a clear reiteration of what I've already been talking about. The fact that abundance is not only about finances and money, that it's about opening up our mind to all forms of abundance around us. And although this is showing, yes, this is talking about a door being closed to money, and that may definitely be a reality for you in February, where like this door has closed and this thing that you thought was going to be a reality may not happen. For some of you, it's going to be because you weren't leading with a pure heart. Okay, for some of you, it's going to be because you were thinking of this idea and pushing this forward as solely just a way to make money. And cool, that would have been helpful for you in one way or another. But how were you going to really pool that money, or like what were you going to do with that money for the betterment of the world? What were you going to do with that money for the well-being of the collective? Okay, I'm seeing a focus on like energy. This year is really going to be good for folks who focus on what they're going to do with the resources that they gain, how they're going to feed and nourish the world. Okay, I'm not seeing great things happen to folks who just solely want to make money for the fuck's sake of making money. Like I'm just not seeing that be fruitful. And if there are folks who are making money, who make a quick buck or like make money just for the sake of making money, I'm not seeing it be sustainable. I'm especially not seeing it be energetically sustainable. And what I mean by that is like X person may be doing X, Y, and Z and be getting X amount of money, but they're not going to be happy. And that fulfillment that they were searching for, that fulfillment that they made the decision to put this thing out and make money for, it's just not going to come. it's not going to be energetically sustainable. And so for many of you, that door is going to close because you're meant to, again, reassess what foot are you stepping forward with? Are you doing this from a pure standpoint? Are you doing this with honoring yourself as a vessel to really help the world? Or are you doing this just to make money? Okay. And for all of us, it's truly a reminder to open ourselves up to all opportunities, all ways that we can truly tap into abundance in this month and in this year. Okay. I'm also going to read from the contract card because this came through afterwards, and this one came through upright. So let's see, because when we talk about contracts, they're not only like pen and paper, legal, blah, blah, blah. Like we're talking about when we talk about contracts, they are connections. Maybe you watch my videos every day from now on. That would be crazy. Wow. Make sure to click subscribe if you're thinking of doing that. But maybe you start to monthly watch these videos, and we're building a contract, a rapport with each other. Right? You might have a contract with your best friend, an energetic contract. You have a contract with your partner, your kids, your boss, anybody who you have an interpersonal relationship with. That is an energetic contract. You have a contract with your habits, your behaviors, your thought forms. And so that's really what's coming to mind when we talk about contracts here. But it can also mean regular contracts, like agreements that you are writing or reading or signing, partnerships that you're creating with other people. This card shows a contract in the background, ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort. This union may be a business deal, the sale of a home, a new job, or even a commitment in marriage. Whatever the connection, this card is more than a casual agreement. It's usually something that requires a document that's binding, at least for the time being. The scales of justice also indicate that if a legal action is underway, it is likely to turn out in your favor. This card shines a light on potential new opportunities, so remain aware and receptive to what may be coming your way. And again, as these cards came out together, this one came out first, this one came out last. The way that I read, these are kind of like one message. And again, if we're taking into account the fact that this is talking about broadening our perspective to like abundance coming through in all ways, and this is coming through as a reminder of like it's definitely coming. Like yes, these doors are being closed to like ways that you don't have to think those ways. So let's close the door on like materialistic thinking, individualistic thinking, and let's open the door for all these contracts, agreements coming through in new ways that you're going to build partnership with people. Again, a reiteration of these cards as well, right? Going outside, making sure that you know that you're being taken care of energetically, that you're doing this for a reason, that you are the vessel, knowing that these doors are being closed, not because the universe hates you or not because you're not meant to do this thing, but that you're not meant to do it in that way. Okay, you're meant to really take a look at how you were formulating things and how you were going about it, restructure, try it another way, lean into and root into your heart energy. I've been talking a lot about the heart chakra lately. The heart chakra being the middle chakra, beautiful green, vibrant energy when it is balanced. I'm getting that as a advice, like self-care advice this month. Truly do heart-opening exercises, especially when we're talking about opportunities, connections, banding together with people, honoring yourself as an energetic being in the world. Heart-opening exercises, chakra healing. You can even go on YouTube here and look up heart-opening meditations and heart-opening. I'm going to have one soon, so make sure you check it out on my channel. I'll link it here for you to watch. But heart-opening meditations, heart-opening affirmations that you can sleep to and replay, sound healings, like anything that you can do, heart-opening yoga. Literally just doing this is a heart-opening. Making sure that you're breathing in and making sure that your chest is open is a heart opener. Really, really important somatic exercises that are going to support you on this journey. But like all of this is in alignment. All of this is in alignment. Let's check out the last card coming from the Moon deck. This is one of my favorite decks just because of the box and just how beautiful it is. But let's check out the last card for February 2024. And let's see, because these messages already have been so beautiful, so aligned. Let's check it out. so interesting. We got 3 different cards. Okay, 3 different cards fell out of the deck as I was shuffling. And I'm going to take a look at them before I present them to you. Because again, the way that these cards come together, they come through as one message. First card was, there is medicine in my shadow. How gorgeous are these cards, right? There is medicine in my shadow. Next card was, I love myself completely and unconditionally. I love myself completely and unconditionally. And then the last card was, I am the weaver of my reality. I am the weaver of my reality. I actually want you to pay attention to the animals that came through. We have an owl here, night owl. We have a spider. I know some of you may be afraid of spiders, but they're beautiful spiritual messengers. We have a lotus, a moon, all this feminine energy. Okay. I'm going to try to keep this brief, try to keep these readings not that long, but this is coming through as several things, just reiterations of what we've already been talking about. Really paying attention to our shadows, paying attention to making sure that we are really focusing on everything as an opportunity for abundance, everything as an opportunity to really set our foundations and make our foundations strong. Everything. There is some like F shit, some fuck shit that's going to happen this month. Even the fuck shit is going to be useful. Everything is useful. Let that be a mantra for you this month. Everything is useful for me. Everything is giving me guidance or guiding me towards my alignment with abundance for me. Okay. I completely love and accept myself. I love myself completely and unconditionally on the process. Because it ain't all going to be easy. And self-love, which is also February, is like love month, right? Where we have Valentine's Day. In my community, we focus on self-love and like love in all aspects. We're having an amazing event where we have an amazing master astrologer, Yakari Gabriel, who is going to come and lead an astrology workshop on how do we use energy or our knowledge of energy to attract love, to love others unconditionally, whether it be a partner. I said unconditionally, but I don't mean that, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But how do we use energy of astrology, look at people's zodiacal structures to like love them the way that they need to be loved, so that really our foundations are strengthened in our relationships. So definitely check out a link to that in the description box if you want to join us. It is a virtual event. But making sure that you're loving yourself, because the process is not easy, and knowing that everything is happening because you're the weaver of your reality. You get to decide, like this is the only thing that you get to decide. Let me say this correctly. You don't get to decide how things turn out, but you do get to decide where you go, okay? And how you show up. You don't get to decide how things come into your life or how people, outside sources react to you, but you get to decide and really get to decide to put your best foot forward, okay? These are all mindset cards. These are all mindset cards. All reminders of like how we really should be focusing on being in the right state of mind, in the right state of mind, okay? Really focusing on being in the right state of mind. Focusing on self-love, focusing on forgiveness, focusing on how everything is a tool, everything is a resource, everything is guidance, everything is a message. Some of you who already see like the 11:11 on the clock and like 111 and 333s and see your birthday all the time may think that you're on this like, I already see everything as a message. Do you though? Do you? I've met so many people, seen so many clients, done so many energy readings where people are like, yeah, I see these messages all the time. And when I ask them what they do with it, radio silence. If you're one of these people who do physically see messages everywhere, keep a journal. Take a moment to just stand there and think, okay, how is this in connection to what I was just doing, what I was just saying, what I'm going through in my life? How am I meant to use this message to put my best foot forward in this next minute? Because we are always manifesting. One thing I will never call myself is a manifestation teacher. And that is because I cannot teach you how to manifest. You are always manifesting. What I can teach you is how to be mindful of how you are manifesting in your life. And so these cards are coming through for just that, to remind us that we are always manifesting, that we are the weavers of our reality. okay? And that because we are the weavers of our reality, because we're weaving this web, that our web is we're not only weaving a web for us. This is the collective web, right? We are weaving our personal web, and our webs are all connected. My web is connected to your web in some way. My web is connected to, I'm looking at the people on the street, the pigeon who's sitting on my balcony. Like, our webs all intersect. And so focus on how our webs are intersecting. How can you be useful to somebody else's web? Okay? Don't worry about how things are turning out. Just not worry, but be mindful of how you're putting your best foot forward. How are you putting your best energetic foot forward? Okay? Knowing that even in your shadow, there is medicine. Also focusing on being the medicine. You are also, or can also be, medicine. And if you're watching this right now and you're like, wow, I'm so depressed, or I feel really, really low, I hope these messages have been helpful in letting you know that you're safe. That you're safe more than anything. That you're safe to eject yourself from where you are. And I know that's, trust me, if I more than anybody know that what that entails or how it feels, and I'm not at all saying that I understand the specifics of your situation, but being somebody who has truly suffered with debilitating depression and anxiety for most of my life, I understand that it may not be easy. And maybe you're not depressed. Maybe you're just in a rough patch. Maybe you're burnt out. Whatever it is, whatever low feeling you're feeling right now, I know that it's easier said than done to just like, oh, I'm just going to get out of it. Like, I'm just going to be fine. No. But we can be mindful of how we are mothering ourselves, our foundations, the things that we have around us. We can start to, again, put our best energetic foot forward so that things start to change. The decisions that we make are paramount to everything, to our individual well-being, to how we are, how we stand, the way that we speak, the way that we carry ourselves. And again, that fuels into the collective, into the world. Okay, that's going to inform the way that we are. That's going to inform the way that we take part in society. That's going to inform the way that we speak, the way that we purchase things, the way that we vote, the way that we march, the things that we speak up for. So I encourage you to please continue to nourish yourself. Please continue to mother yourself. Please continue to honor the fact that you are an energetic being first. The fact that you are soul incarnate. The fact that you are soul incarnate. The fact that you are so energetically supported in going outside, being who you are, doing the things that you're meant to do. The fact that, yes, while doors may be closing, new ones are opening, okay? And you're forging new contracts that you didn't even think were humanly possible. So really be grounded in a truly spiritual mindset, a mindset that honors who you really are. Thank you for sitting with me if you watched this entire reading. I truly hope that these messages have landed gracefully on you and within you. Please let me know in the comments what really called out to you. What did you hear or watch and that made you stop and be like, damn, that really hit. What do you have questions about? I want to engage with you. I want to really start building community with y'all here on YouTube. And I'm so looking forward to continuing to doing these readings moving forward. I truly pray that you have a truly fruitful, fulfilling, gorgeous, mindful, nourished February 2024. Peace.